Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Caleb and Joseph.
Hey.
We are so excited to be with you today. Just for a recap of what Dr. Leslie had talked about yesterday. It was phenomenal being physically separate, however, spiritually engaged. So just because we're not meeting in the house or meeting in the church rather together, that doesn't mean that God isn't still moving. God is not still at work. So we're excited about this today to bring to you some questions for you. What we want you to do is grab your friends and your family, whoever's in the house. Keep it under 10, but grab your friends and family and come together and actually talk about the questions that we're about to bring up today, because I think it's going to be phenomenal and it's great engagement. So listen, let's start off right now with our first question.
The Bible says that faith is the assurance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And I think if we're very honest with ourselves, sometimes our confidence level in God and our faith level isn't always at a 10. And I know if I was just to be honest about myself, I could think of a time a couple years ago, if you would have asked me a question, and how confident are you in your faith? If I was to be honest, it wouldn't be very high. The first question that we have for you is, if you were to rate your confidence level in God, your faith in God, from a 1 to a 10 right now, what would that number be? 1 being not very confident and 10 being very confident. Like I was saying earlier, there was a time in my life a couple of years ago where my confidence was shaken. I went through a lot of loss in my life, and there was just many unanswered prayers, and I truly questioned, God, are you there for me? And in that moment, if you were to ask me to rate my confidence level in God, I would probably have said a 3. Today, my confidence level is probably around an 8.5, if I was to be completely honest with you. And that's because of community. It's because of remembering God's promises for my life. But our question for you is, if you were to be completely honest with yourself right now and rate your confidence level in God, what would it be? In life, our faith will always be tested. That's how we know it's real.
Absolutely.
And so if we're honest, just because you work for a church doesn't mean that your faith will not be tested. In fact, if your faith is being tested right now, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you're a bad Christian. It means that you're normal. It says something, it's something that we all face, and it's okay. But the thing is, when we recognize the areas in our life where our faith is being tested, God can begin to move.
Absolutely.
And so our next question for you is, what area in your life is your faith being tested right now?
Hey guys, the next question and final question we have, honestly, let's prerequisite by saying this. Oftentimes in life, hearing other people's voices and other people's opinions, it makes us almost question who we are. And sometimes we take on that identity that other people have said, that you can't do this, you won't be this, you're just like your dad, you're just like your mother, you'll never accomplish anything. And sometimes, because we've heard that so often, we start to believe it, and we create that as an image for ourselves. So my question for you today is, what image are you willing to give up of yourself and trade it with the image that God has of you and for you? Because what he says about you is that you are the head and not the tail. You are above and not beneath. You are more than, not less than. So he gives you your worth, therefore you are worthy. So what are you willing to give up? Sometimes, because we've heard these voices and heard these opinions so long, it almost feels true, but it's not true. So what are you willing to give up today? The images of yourself, and trade it with the image that God has for you and of you and about you. Hey guys, thank you for joining us, and thank you for participating in this recap. We trust that you had an awesome and engaging time with your friends and family. Also, listen, if you've done it, please take pictures as you interact. And use the hashtag C3isme. We would love to see your photos and share your photos as well. So look, we love you and we appreciate you. We can't wait to see what God is doing in your life. God bless you. Peace.
See you guys.